Hey there, guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts discussion number 337, Statistics, GUI, and mod Debugger. And I'm joined again by Bombug.
Hello, hello. How you doing today, X?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing good. Just thinking it's a good time to stay inside, play Factorio for a month or so, wait for Corona to roll over the country.
Yeah, that, probably not a bad idea. Get that Netflix account fired up again.
Hmm.
Just kind of chill inside.
For a
Uh,
long, long time.
Long time. Uh, anyway, so this is a pretty good one. There's two sections. There's some GUI stuff, which I am thrilled about, and then there's some mod stuff, which Bombug's gonna cover because it's parts of it are a little bit over my head.
It's some geeky stuff.
Kind of geeky stuff.
You gotta get into that though. You'll enjoy it.
I'll enjoy it. Maybe I'll understand it as you go over it. So statistics GUI by Clone Oxide. The statistics GUI, electric network stats, production stats, etc., is one of the GUIs that has been in the game for a very long time and has had its functionality fleshed out reasonably over the years. It was not long ago when Twinson added hovering and highlighting to the graphs. Given that, in the relatively short time frame for 1.0 release, the update of the stats GUI has really just been a style update, no new features or heavy logic rewriting. Oxide has most of the work done, so we're happy to show some real in-game screenshots of how it looks, which is pretty cool. So this is a statistics production, statistics. I can't read. Electric network satisfaction production and accumulator chart. So I really like how this is kind of shown here compared to how it's currently shown in the game.
It makes it so much clearer.
It really does. It makes it so much clearer. Although the well, it's still a little confusing. The satisfaction and production is like I don't entirely understand, but okay. So I mean that's just always been a thing where it's kind of confusing, like what each of these means.
Yeah, a little bit, especially when like you don't understand how energy like flows out of your factory, right? Like it can get confusing seeing like, okay, why I've been consistently producing the same amount of electricity, why am I suddenly not satisfied right now? What's going on?
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. But look wise, it's really nice. And then on the left here, it obviously shows everything that's using electricity as it normally would. But then on the right, under production, it's really nice. It shows, kind of in a different layout here, which is super good. A noticeable change. The electric stats is that the satisfaction, production, and accumulator charts are next to each other in a single row as opposed to each in a separate row, which we just showed. And then the label for the exact amount has also been moved to the inside of the progress bar, which itself is much thicker. Which is, yeah, it's just a lot easier to read.
Yeah, I can appreciate the thickness.
Yeah, definitely some good thickness there. Um, so on to production. This is, and actually the electric one has this feature, but it's not mentioned in the electric one, although it is there in the picture. Production GUI has changed a bit. The main thing you may notice is this little search icon here. And as you can see, you can still kind of filter. It shows here they're just showing some good pictures. The production stats are pretty much the same functionality wise. One new button you might spot is the search button. Thank you so much. This is
Yup.
something that has been needed, I think, since there ever was a production thing. Because it is really heckin' annoying to try to find a certain product, especially if you're looking at like the 5 second or 1 minute thing where things are like jumping all over the place. And then particularly if you're using mods or something to have a bunch of different items, or even in vanilla if you're just producing a lot of stuff, it can be really tricky to like, based on a picture with everything moving, actually find the item you're looking for.
Absolutely. Yeah, that small time frame when you're playing your space exploration one where there's like so many extra items, versions of different
Yeah,
things to produce. Oh, It's too much.
It's too much. So this is I don't really know why it took them this long, but they did it, and I'm really happy. That's like a huge thing. That's probably one of my favorite features introduced in like the last couple months. Because this is just so great. And then it kind of shows some more pictures so you can search pack. Oh, hey, we get science packs instead of having to look all over the place for them. Really, really nice. So there are a couple problems with it, though. As you can see, production and consumption frames have different search box independent from each other, as you can see here. The main problem is when pressing Control F to perform a regular search, which is a cool hotkey to have there. How do we know which frame to open? Of course, this could lead to different solutions, like the use of a cycle for the focus of the search, in which the second time you press Control F, the other frame gets the focus, or both of the search boxes open at the same time, but only one gets a focus, or one frame gets a focus and the other one works only by pressing the button. But let's face it, these quote-unquote solutions are not solid at all and create inconsistency in the main design. To solve this issue, we decided that the simplest way to go is the use of just one search box on the header of the panel. This new location works as a general feature for the entire panel. One single search gives you two results, one on each frame. Makes sense to me. As you can see, the down below in this picture, you can see they've moved it up to the top right there. It's pretty small, a little hard to spot, but it is there. The solution is using a new character window 2 coming soon, making it consistent with the whole design of the GUI. So that's pretty cool, because I mean, naturally, if you're looking at production of something, you might want to see consumption. Like, there's never a reason where you wouldn't want to see both, I think.
Yep. Yeah, you're pretty much everything you're making, for the most part, is being consumed further down the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's real good to know both input and output.
Exactly. And as you can see, oh, there's a kills statistics here. So basically what they did is they just put the kill statistics info in with the production instead of a whole separate window. It needs a few tweaks and polishing here and there before it's ready for release, but unless something unexpected happens, you can expect it coming out in a release soon, which is fantastic. I'll be so excited to use this. This is just like, I'm ecstatic. I love this, to be able to search for my items.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people play games like EVE Online through spreadsheets.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people who play Factorio play it through the sort of the mini-map zoom, where you can just control all your robots, and then through these production tabs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make them look pretty.
Yeah, have tons of functionality and stuff. And then you're gonna maybe summarize this section. So mod or community spotlight, mod debugging in instrument mode by just a random geek, whose name I do recognize. They're a mod maker. I'm gonna real quick here pop out of this and just see. Okay, yeah. So the creator NixieTube, super popular mod. A lot of these I haven't heard of, but they've done a lot of mods basically. So. This is a bit of a write-up on them on mod debugging, and yeah.
All right, let's take a look. So historically, while developing Factorio mods, you just have to write some code and try it until you get one of these. It's a nice little notice pop-up saying there's some error. A lot of the time it's real vague. So then you go back and you find the spot in your code, you try to figure out what's going wrong. The error is particularly confusing. So you start sprinkling log or game print statements around to try and figure out what the heck is going on. Of course, when you find the problem, you inevitably forget to clean all of these up, and now you're spamming the log or chat forever. So for people who haven't written mods or done programming before, basically doing a log or game print just writes a little line in your maybe your chat log or maybe your console, and it leaves some little message. Usually you're saying like, oh, I'm trying to do damage with this new weapon I'm adding in, so I'm just going to log the damage that I'm expecting it to do here and try a bunch of different things in game and see the log change and try and figure out, well, why did it change, right? So use it as like a little clue to figure out what's going on. But like you said, it gets real messy real fast, and it's hard to clean up if you don't remember to. Yeah, so he digs in here. He says, oh, well, there's your problem. You have a line that's just throwing an error, just to give an example here. So for the last few months, he's been working on a debugger to improve the experience. The first step was to spend some time with the Lua debug library and Visual Studio Code's debug adapter protocol, making introductions to get them talking to each other. Factorio doesn't give him very many options, but Lua's debug.debug and print functions are enough to interact with the normally invisible console. VS Code is this IDE tool, this tool where you can enter in all of your code and run it. And so with VS Code, you can launch Factorio, attach itself to this console, and inject commands as needed to read and manipulate the state of the running code. This gets us VS Code's debugger interface with all the pre-built tools for displaying variables, setting breakpoints, and stepping through code. Wrapping some of the game's API like remote call and most of scripts to add a little extra special handling. We get nice labels on event handlers in the call stack and a first version of break-on exceptions for when things go wrong. He even built in some nice detailed variable views for the most common Lua objects, which he's showing here in the picture. So he's basically setting up a whole bunch of tools that help him easily track and find where things go wrong. So rather than having a print statement, which every time he hits some condition prints out a little bit of info, he can actually set the code to pause as soon as he hits a condition that he specifies. And then he's able to look at every variable and every little thing that's set at that moment to help him debug, which is way more useful than the standard Factorio debugging, which is just like print a little message for yourself and hope you're printing the right thing that clues you in on where the issue is happening.
Right.
So going on here, there's a catch, and it's a big one. Because of the way Factorio sandboxes mods, the debugger, which is a mod itself in part, can't actually get to your mod to install these hooks. The first solution is to simply add a line to load the debugger, but this puts us right back where we started with log. You put something in for debugging and forget to remove it. So to solve the problem, he needs a little bit of help from the API, a way for a mod to hook into every other mod. Unfortunately, this level hook is too powerful for general capability to be available generally to mods, so it can't really be added to the normal mod API. It allows you to fairly trivially break nearly all assumptions about data lifecycle and mod sandboxing. After some discussing with our seeding, we eventually arrived at instrument mode, released with version 18.10, a special mode which allows a selected mod to hook all the Lua instances Factorio creates at the cost of disabling multiplayer and only allowing one instrument at once. This also provides a hook for a better version of break-on exception. So this gets all the way to the rich debugger experience. When you run under the debugger, all loaded mods automatically get debug hooks installed for the session, but not permanently, and you can step through the code and examine all of your variables. So while he was building the tool, he also added some highlighters for locale and changelog files and validation for changelogs. And what you can see here is he sets some rules for himself in the changelog. And if he breaks those rules, then the code automatically tells him, well, hey, this is wrong. And this is used for like when you're uploading mods, it's got to be, some files have to be in a specific format for it to show properly in the mod portal, right? So this is like an assistance to help him make sure nothing's broken, right? Yeah, so, and of course, it's a game about automation, so we needed some modding workflow automation as well. And he just shows all of his mod packages there. You're able to just publish your mod real quick. Just some cool stuff for modders to use. So yeah, this is a lot of really good detail for anyone who's done just mod development and who has not experimented with actual code breakpoints and nice debugging tools. You've got to get in and try this stuff. It's really, really nice to have in any developer's tool set to be able to use breakpoints and jump through code properly and not just leaving log statements like a lot of mod developers are kind of forced to do, you know?
Yeah.
And then one interesting thing I wanted to bring up with this is he is a mod maker, right? But it looks like he's in direct contact with our seeding and, you know, talking to him to get some stuff pulled in, like the instrument mode. So I don't know, is he actually part of the Factorio team? It says he's a member of the community and a mod maker, but
Um,
that's pretty cool.
he is not a part of the Factorio team, but yeah, I mean, as a fairly well-known mod maker, I can definitely, I mean, definitely makes sense he's in touch with the devs. I think a lot of the, I shouldn't say a lot. I think, well, no, I think a lot of the mod makers definitely have contact with the devs, and I think some of the biggest mod makers actually have uh, source access to the game code, so they can like see ahead of time like what changes are coming to like prep their mods and stuff. It's only a couple like Bob's, who makes Bob's mods, and Angel, who makes Angel's mods and stuff like that, who just have these gigantic mods.
Yeah.
I think like a couple of those guys have source access, but uh, definitely it's good that the devs are so easily accessible for stuff like this and for modders and for players and and stuff like that. And who knows, maybe he will become a part of the team. They took that they have had
Oh yeah, who's the
that
QA guy?
yeah,
Boss Kid.
yeah,
Yeah,
Boss Kid, who they just brought on, who was just a community member as well. So definitely
yeah.
possible.
That was a good pickup for them. Boss Kid, oh, he finds bugs, man.
Seriously, he's done some serious work. A boss, you could say.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, really cool. This workflow stuff and extra tools for mod developers is really really nice, especially with the modding ability and community for Factorio. It's really cool.
Yep. And the more they can speed up development of mods, the greater their game and their community gets. And I can definitely say from experience, having to rely on just like print statements is an absolute pain. And having really good tool sets like this can it can take you from debugging 2/3 of the time to just focusing on development 90% of the time. It's excellent.
Yeah, definitely. Huge, huge help. So I think that's gonna be it, guys. Really good stuff. Good stuff for mods. I really love these new statistics production GUIs and stuff, and the searchability and the general look of it. It's just real good. So I think that's it. Unless you got any last thoughts.
Oh man, just once again, props to our seating. You know, sticking with the community, helping everybody out. It's real good to see how involved the Factorio team is with their community, which is a thing that AAA companies are seriously lacking these days. You know.
Yes, for sure. It's very rare to have devs like this who are so uh, you know interactive with the community and stuff. So this is really great. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your thoughts below on the forums and Reddit for the devs and such and community. And until next time, we will see you later.
Catch you guys later.